Good. We'll let it finish. They're finishing. There we go. All right, folks. Welcome live to Enterprise High School in Enterprise, Utah. It is Rhett Sifford snagging the broadcast away from David Boyle and Vernon Hatch in Dove Creek. It does look like the Monticello girls are going to win that game over Dolores today. And, in fact, it is winding down to the end. It may have just finished, either that or there's a second left on the clock. I think it's done, and a 39-31 final. We do welcome you in. We're going to take over the broadcast and hijack it here as we get set for the championship game tonight here at this Enterprise round robin. It was the San Juan Broncos beating Roland Hall yesterday in a come-from-behind win, 68-63. And it was American Heritage on top of Enterprise last night. And that's how both of these teams get here for a rematch. It is a rematch of a game that was played last week. Believe it or not, it has only been 1 week and 1 day since that important game for the San Juan Broncos back at home. A tough loss for them against American Heritage, but a game that really may end up galvanizing their season. The official final was 83-67 in the loss, but it was a hard-fought game. There were near fights. There were tense moments. It was exciting. It was passionate. And it was also on San Juan's home court. This game today will be played, obviously, on neutral ground. And so this should be a fun matchup. And also, as we welcome you into the High School Hoops pregame show here tonight for San Juan basketball, the American Heritage Patriots will be without their top scorer, Niwai Winatana. It's not Niwai, it's Nephi. Nephi Winatana. I'm going to have to get used to that since I've been mispronouncing it. It's Nephi. It's just a different spelling of it. So we'll try to get used to that as the game goes along. But he is going to be missing. He was actually ejected from last night's game. And so a little bit of drama in here last night as American Heritage took on the host Enterprise Wolves, and obviously we know this American Heritage team is skilled. A lot of teams are gunning for them, including San Juan this afternoon, so a lot of times it gets testy. They're good, and I think they play with a little chip on their shoulder. We saw that in Blanding a week ago, and so we don't expect anything less here today, but at least for the first half, it's very likely they're going to be missing Nephi Winatana here this afternoon, but they will have Mana Winatana, so he is his younger brother. I did confirm that with Coach Paula Winatana, and so we did get a chance here as we talk about American Heritage here in the pregame show to chat with him moments ago and had a good conversation with him. Here's what he has to say as his team gets set for day 2 at the Enterprise Round Robin and taking on San Juan. Well, Coach Winatana, thanks for chatting with us. This is my first opportunity to get to talk with you. We've obviously seen your team already this year down in Blanding, so it's kind of maybe rare to get a rematch like this so early in the season, but I know it was a hard-fought game before. It was fun, a lot of passion in that game. You guys have got a fast and skilled team. Can you tell me about this team this season?
Well, first of all, thanks for interviewing us, or interviewing me. We're grateful to be here in Enterprise. I think Coach Bud does a great job of the program, like I was commenting to you before about the whole setup, the broadcasting, the fans. And so I just want to acknowledge him, first of all, for inviting us here.
Cool.
San Juan, shucks, I got nothing but praise for the new coach. How long has he been there? 1 year?
He's new as a head coach, but he's been assisting for a few years. So
it's his first year head coach? Yeah, you talk about passion, you talk about enthusiasm. I like his style. I like his life for the game. And so, our team, I think we're coming into our own. I think we're probably about a year away, if I'm being honest, from being a real solid program. We're 3 years in the making, so a lot of these young ones are learning about, what it takes to come together as a group, the importance of preparation and work, and we're starting to see the fruits of it. So, we've got a special group of young men and the coaching staff. It's just a blessing for me to be able to be a part of it.
Those are good words, Coach. I appreciate it. And I guess, just heading off of that, what's your ultimate goal with these young men in your basketball program?
Man, we have a saying, it's bigger than ball. And for us, our school is a faith-based school, so it's all about helping these young men understand that they can be instruments for God, bring light into this planet, to this world, to their families, to their communities, help them to understand that through the game of basketball, right, they can learn these valuable lessons. And I know every team and every most good coaches that I've been around, they always emphasize, it's about the principles and the learning lessons that will help you later on when things really go tough in life, And speaking of that, we just, had one of our players lose his grandfather the other day, had another coach who's unfortunately their brother committed suicide. And, you look at overtime games and tough losses and figuring out how to break presses, which can be quite tricky. And it's just an opportunity for them to navigate how they can get ready for some of these bigger storms in life, like losing a loved one or just, the pressures of the world. So that's what we're really trying to do, trying to help these young men understand, man, as sons and daughters of God, they can do some amazing things to help the person next to them or be an inspiration to others. And so being mindful of that responsibility, being mindful of that calling, and just that's what we're really trying to do.
Awesome. You're going way beyond basketball now. Maybe want to rein it in a little and just talk on the court. What have been the strengths of your team so far this year?
Like I said, just the preparation of the work that we've done. I've been here for 3 years. This is my 4th year. And so, I played a little bit, and I was really blessed to be around some amazing leaders. So helping them to understand that coming in early morning, right? Our boys come in early mornings twice a week to work on the individual skills. We train every day that we're not playing after school, so the importance of growing together as a team. Just helping them to understand, you got to be skilled, you got to be talented, you got to work, but don't make it complicated. Just find 5 guys on court who can come together, execute a plan the best that they can, and go and have some fun, really.
What's your goal against San Juan again here today?
San Juan play tough, man. They're guards. They got strong players. I know some of them play football. I was about to say rugby, but football. Yeah, they play.
Close.
Yeah, they play football, so they're tough, they're strong, they're fit, they're fast, and so over the summer, over the fall, we traveled to California and to Vegas and played some of these athletic teams who play that type of style. And so we're not new to any of that. But I guess the goal for San Juan is dealing with their pressure, taking care of the ball, because they thrive on turnovers. They thrive on teams who get a little bit radical and just can't handle that press. So, like they showed last night against Roland Hall, down by 16, I think, or 18, and then
20.
Well, I got here, they were down by 16. Next minute, I was like, oh wow, interesting. And then next minute, they're up by 8.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't handle that press, and I guess Roland Hall wasn't ready for it. But
well, I know you guys have the ability to break a press pretty well.
Yeah, we work on it a lot. Over the years, we've had some pretty good guards, but we got a young freshman, and he can see the court pretty well, and he can make good decisions with his passes. So if we take care of the ball, we should be okay. Touch wood or touch something.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Have fun out there. That's what it's all about. Thank you very much.
And I want to say a big thanks to Coach Coach Winana, the head coach of the American Heritage Patriots, as his team gets set to take on San Juan. And just a real quick look as we're getting ready for the opening tip here tonight, but they are 6-5 coming in here this afternoon. Obviously, it's a matchup that they won last week, so a rematch between these two teams here this evening should be a lot of fun. We're going to keep it right here, and we'll just switch gears real quick here in the pregame show, and we'll talk about the San Juan Broncos in just a moment. But we did get a chance to chat with head coach Easton Nielsen moments ago. Here's what he has to say as his team, definite underdogs here this afternoon, come up against the American Heritage Patriots.
Well, Coach, this is fun. It's not often you get a rematch of this caliber early in the season, and so it's fun. You guys had a pretty passionate game against them back at your place, and now you're going to get a rematch with them here today.
Yeah, we are nothing but excited to be playing them again today. We know it's a dang good basketball team on the other side, but we believe we're a dang good basketball team, and we expect to go out and compete and win today.
What do you need to do different, than what you did at home?
One of the big things is defensively we're going to be extending a little bit more pressure on Juan when he comes into the game. I don't expect to see him in the first half because of yesterday, but we're gonna up the intensity that way, and then priority number 2 is going to be take care of the ball. We had too many turnovers last Friday night. Yesterday we got it down to 16. That's not a bad area to be in. If we can bring it even lower than that, then we'll have a good chance.
Well, and obviously you spotted him a bunch of points in the first half last time, and that hurt you. But once second half happened, you kind of played with them.
Yeah, we made some adjustments. We started doing some full court denial and making it a little bit harder for them to get in their sets. We did a little better communicating the screens in that second half, and by and large, we gave ourselves a chance through that second half. And if we make some of those same adjustments right now and execute our game plan, we're going to be just fine.
Well, your press was amazing last night, obviously. It won you the game. This is a team that can break the press pretty easily.
Yes, I do not plan on coming out with that press, that specific press in the beginning. As you said, we know that they have some talented ball handlers, and they're deep in that area. And so we're going to add pressure in different ways, and we may look for opportunities, especially if they have both of the Winana brothers on the bench. Then we may actually look at that at that time, but only under those circumstances, because those other ball handlers are too good to put them in that. So,
win or loss, what are you wanting to see your boys accomplish here today?
I want to see them compete. I want to see them play with a lot of pride. I want to see them play with even maybe a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. You know, we feel like we belong on the floor with these guys, and you know, obviously, around the state and around others, there's those who may not feel that way yet when they look at us, but we're on a run right now. We're going to keep playing hard. We're going to go out and play hard defense, and you know, it's just the same thing as what it's been the whole year. I want to see growth. This game is not the state championship, so we're not going to treat it as if it is, but we are going to treat it like a great opportunity to grow, to become better as a team, and to hopefully get a win against a dang good team.
All right, Coach, good luck. Have fun. That is what it's about, and we'll talk to you after the game.
Thank you.
And we do want to say thank you to Coach Easton Nielsen for chatting with us. We had a little bit of technical difficulties with that interview, so my apologies there. And we had a couple points here before the game even started. And just a second, let me get caught up, because at this round robin, they're not doing traditional player introductions, so that's really throwing me back. I used that time to get the starters entered in on my iPad, so I'm pretty delayed here. And let's see, making foul shots before the game even started was Anthony Doan. So San Juan started with a 2-0 lead. I'm assuming that's a technical foul that stretches back from last night's occurrences. And again, I'm not sure what went on, but we are getting a 3-point situation here for Kyle Mena. And actually, no, they had 2 on the board, but they've wiped it off. So I'm pretty confused. They had 2 on the board and have now taken it off. Mena, I believe, made the first foul shot. I thought that should have been an ad one. The refs are pretty confused as well as they talk it over. And it right now is showing 2-0 on the scoreboard. 2 fouls on number 5 are showing. Keaton Ivins, but I thought this is the first foul of the game. Now they're going to give 3 points to San Juan and 1 point for American Heritage, so I know that's not right. I think they're just trying to get things squared away over there at the scorers table. Meanwhile, Monticello is underway against Dove Creek in the Bulldog Classic. You can see that one on Stream Utah. It looks like they've got 2 fouls for Keaton Ivins somehow. Kyle Mena makes both of the foul shots. So it's 2-2, and we're just underway, and now finally trying to get things squared away here. I think we're a little bit over the top of things now as Justice Black scores for San Juan. I know R.J. Daly missed a 3. I don't think I have that on here yet, so I'm going to need to do that. I don't want to mess up anybody's stats here this early in the game, although this is when it usually happens, just trying to get caught up. It definitely hurts when they don't intro the players, but I tell you, it's a noticeable absence of Nephi Winatana for this American Heritage team. He's obviously the quarterback and obviously the most skilled man, but there's a nice little stop-start, but I guess they're going to call a travel on Brady Peary. So that's the first turnover of the game, and it's committed by American Heritage. The Broncos leading the Patriots 4-2 here in the early stages. And if you remember last week, it was a battle for the first quarter. Then in the second quarter. American Heritage started to stretch the lead in the first quarter and continued on through halftime. Then the Broncos battled in the second half, but they had just spotted them too many points. Here's Anthony Doan missing a try from the baseline, and the rebound out of bounds. So American Heritage will get that dead ball rebound. It'll come back the other way. I know I've probably missed some rebounds here. I definitely have, because I know American Heritage has gotten one. I think San Juan just got one. So we're going to just try to get caught up, folks. Bear with me here in the early stages. Meanwhile, here's Mana Winatana, and he drives past the free throw line with the runner, scores, and a foul, as someone for San Juan ran into him from behind, and that was ill-advised on the defense. I think that may be R.J. Daly. Nope, it's not going to be. And again, they are showing 2 fouls for Keaton Ivins and 2 for San Juan here in the early stages. So that's not what the Broncos want to start in foul trouble. Meanwhile, Mana Winatana scores to make it a 3-point play. That was the first foul of the day on Anthony Doan, by the way. And the Broncos will run it back across, now trailing for the first time tonight, 5-4. And if just talking with Coach Easton Nielsen, it's obvious this team believes they can compete with American Heritage today. And right now trailing by just 1. Here's a 3 on the way, no good, from Mana Winatana, I believe, and rebounded by San Juan. Broncos coming the other way. Right corner 2, I believe, from Brigham Nielsen, misses everything. And it's pulled down by American Heritage, and now the Patriots score. And they don't have the guy in here announcing the baskets. It's not Enterprise playing anymore, so I think that was Weston Larson, and it looks like a 2. And now San Juan scores as R.J. Daly gets up underneath the basket and rolls it up and in. And so San Juan keeps pace at 7-6 American Heritage, and we're not quite 3 minutes in here this evening. It is the championship game of this Enterprise round robin. These were the 2 winners. And speaking of winner, there's a beautiful over-under and the right-hand finish right through the lane for Winatana. And he leads scorers with 5. It is a 9-6 lead now for American Heritage. San Juan has it. Left wing, driving in, Daly. He's definitely bodied as he comes through the middle, and now one of the American Heritage players being yelled at by the ref over there. I think that's a loose ball to San Juan, so Anthony Doan's shot was maybe deflected and ends up going out of bounds, and San Juan will reset. Justice Black misses a try, but the Broncos rebound, and now Daly misses. And so the Broncos missing a couple, and then scoring the other way is Brady Peary. So an offensive board and a defensive board for the 2 teams there. And then Peary scores to make it 11-6. Now this time Anthony Doan draws a foul as he goes hard to the hole, and he will shoot 2. And it looks like this is going to be on Jaden Adams, his first. And Anthony Doan toes the line and will shoot a couple here. And this one bounces off. So if you're just joining us, I think due to circumstances from last night's game with American Heritage, they began the game with a technical foul. And Anthony Doan hit 2 foul shots before the game even began. So that is my first chance seeing anything like that. Doan makes 1 of 2 right here. Missed the first, made the second. It's 11-7. And we are almost already halfway through this opening quarter. San Juan trying to keep pace with American Heritage. It's a game they struggled in far as score goes at home last week, as Winatana scores again right here. Now San Juan is unable to score. Jake Ivins, and it's rebounded by American Heritage, and they run it back up. Very quick back and forth, and now San Juan steals the ball, and the Broncos run it up. Anthony Doan spinning into the lane, now runs into traffic, has to have help, finds Jagger Neves. Jagger Neves' runner at the free throw line is good. And so Jagger Neves scores for San Juan. And American Heritage dishing it out high. 3 on the way from Peary. No. Rebounded by San Juan. And the Broncos will run it up. It's Neves again. Little stutter step and a spin through the free throw line. Hands back. Jake Ivins with the drive to the hole now. Can't get it to go too high off the glass. Rebounded by American Heritage, and they send a lead pass up ahead, but it was too far down into the corner. They'll slow it back up. On the perimeter now, Winatana backs it out. Shoots the college three, no. And they track down the rebound. It's saved by San Juan, but right back into Peary for American Heritage. So the Broncos got the rebound technically, but then turned the ball over. And Peary scores and the foul, so make it 15-9. And if you're San Juan, the one thing you can't do here is allow American Heritage to start stretching the lead like they did in the first half against you last week. It is the first foul for R.J. Daly. Peary completes the three-point play, and it is 16-9 now. As American Heritage is almost doubling up San Juan, Anthony Doan through the paint with a circus shot. It won't go, but he draws the foul and will shoot two. I believe this is on Kyle Mena, his first. Nope, it's 21, not 11. So that'll be James Matson. And it's very likely this American Heritage team will not have the services of their leading scorer, Nephi Winatana, until the second half, if then. I'm not sure the stipulations on what happened last night, but unfortunately for San Juan here, Anthony Doan misses both foul shots. And the Patriots back in the offensive end, and banging down a three is Weston Larson. And it's starting to get out of hand a little bit. Coach Nielsen doesn't like it. He's going to call a timeout for the San Juan Broncos. Comes with 2:28 to go in the opening quarter, and the Patriots have stretched a 19-9 lead. It's just a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it here and let you know that High School Hoops today on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part by Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency, Utah State University Blanding, San Juan Health, Car Shop Auto Body, Colleen Kays, author of the 7 Dynamos of Organizational Power, Red Mechanical, San Juan Building Supply, Flights Gymnastics, Northern Electric, Emory Telcom, and Napa Motor Parts. And a huge thanks to all the sponsors who make the broadcast possible. We could not do it without you, so a huge thanks. And I'm not seeing any score. I'm watching the stream on Stream Utah for Monticello, but it doesn't look like David is able to input any score at this point, so I can't give you any visual updates, but hopefully that will correct itself as the game goes along. Meanwhile, we're back to action here following the San Juan timeout. Broncos work it in with a little bit of pain. Now here's a wide open straightaway three for Jake Ivins off the mark and rebounded by American Heritage. So right now, American Heritage winning on the boards and winning in the shooting department. And here is Winatana, no-look dish on the way to the bucket, and it's a wide-open Kyle Mena who goes up from the left side and finishes it off the glass. 21-9 now in favor of American Heritage. So even without Nephi Winatana, you can see what a handful this team is as Anthony Doan misses, but the rebound to San Juan, Jagger Neves, misses, and another rebound to San Juan. So they've got a chance to try again, and finally off the glass and good for Neves. And so the Broncos back to within 10, 21-11, but immediately Peary scores for the Patriots to make that a 12-point lead again. 23-11, and now whistle as Jagger Neve drives the basket. And it'll be a foul on number 2, it would appear, Jackson Black for American Heritage, or maybe it was 22. No, it was just 2. And so his first and the third now for the Patriots. Wholesale player change here for American Heritage. So they're going to bring in some underclassmen here or some bench players in this game. That's kind of a it's kind of an exhibition game, and the runner is good for Jake Ivins. So Ivins on the board, and he makes it 23-13 with the runner through the middle. Now here is Kyle Mena, and hands off, going right to the hole, but missing the layup is number 10, Jace Christofferson. San Juan with the rebound, and now Trip Palmer is open left of the bucket, and the defense closed in on him to foul him. He's unable to make the basket, but he will go to the line. And so Trip Palmer will go to the line here for the Broncos. It is the second foul on Jaden Adams for American Heritage. And Palmer at the line for San Juan does not get the roll on the first attempt. So the Broncos have started cold both from the floor and from the line here tonight. Second one is right through for Palmer, so he's on the board as well. 23-14 is the score. San Juan is 50% from the free throw line, 4 of 8. Now right through the middle, nice little dish at the last moment, and Jaden Adams finishes from the right side. Now all 5 starters for American Heritage are on the board. San Juan just trying to keep possession here. Jagger Neves has the basketball. In trouble, bounces it back out high. Jake Ivins on the left-hand dribble, kicks it back. Spinning into the middle is Anthony Doan, goes to the basket, off the glass and good, and the foul. Nice play by Anthony Doan, the senior. Gets a 3-point play opportunity here. And the foul is the second to Jason Black for American Heritage, and the Broncos are in the bonus. At this point, it's kind of moot. Anthony Doan shooting anyway. He does complete the 3-point play, and he leads San Juan scoring now with 6 points, but we are down to the final 20 seconds of this opening quarter. It's a 25-17 lead for the Patriots, up by 8. We're going to get a timeout with just 16 and a half seconds remaining. We'll keep it here. We'll get a chance to take a break at the end of the quarter. But high school hoops on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part by Creative Floors, San Juan School District CTE programs, Blue Mountain Foods, Energy Fuels, Precision Rehab, Lee Contracting, Desert Rivers Credit Union, Holiday Construction, San Juan Pharmacy, Canyonlands Tire, Diamond Propane, Red's Ace Hardware, and Southeastern Utah 7-Eleven stores. And our sponsors getting some great exposure here in the Enterprise High School gym, as I can hear my voice echoing across the open caverns of this place. It's unreal. There was a crowd in here for the consolation game, and Enterprise winning that just a little bit ago, but boy, the crowd disappeared once the Enterprise game was done. They were here. They even had a laser light show at halftime and everything. I don't think we're going to get any of that good treatment here in our game, even though this is, quote, the championship game of this event. It's tough when you host a tournament and then you're ousted in the first game and you got to play in the consolation bracket. Here's a 3, no good for Weston Larson out of this timeout, and a good defensive board for San Juan. Coast to coast, right through the middle, up and in. Anthony Doan, and the Broncos senior pulls San Juan back to within 6 with that bucket, 25-19, and time expires on the quarter. So the first quarter in the books, and the Broncos were down by 10 in that quarter, but have rallied back to make it a 6-point deficit. We'll be back out here to Enterprise High School in just a moment as we continue our coverage of this round-robin championship game in the Enterprise Round Robin. Stay with us. We'll take a quick break. It is High School Hoops on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, we're proud to sponsor San Juan High School athletics.
Wow, nice. Back live to Enterprise High School as Anthony Doan steals the ball away and runs down court and lays it up and in. So Anthony Doan with the steal and the bucket, and now answering back is Mana Winatana. So those two players trade baskets. And actually, I've got to fix this as we get a miss here. Now the ball out of bounds. I've got to change my quarter. So just making it harder on myself every moment here. And let's get into the second quarter. And now Anthony Doan gets the bucket. Winatana gets the bucket. It was a steal for San Juan. or maybe a turnover, I should say, for American Heritage. Somebody missed down here, I think maybe Jake Ivins, and the defensive board, and now Peary scores for American Heritage, and he has had the hot hand. He now ties Mana Winatana for the game high. I'm sorry, it's not game high anymore. Anthony Doan has taken that over now with 10 points, but those two players for American Heritage have 9 each. Jayton Knight in the game for the first time tonight. Takes a pass, sends it over to the right side. Jake Ivins, dribble drive to the bucket. He's fouled as he goes up, and he'll shoot 2. So some hard play there as Jake Ivins goes hard to the hole, and it'll be the first foul of the night on Kyle Mena. And it puts Jake Ivins to the line. Both teams with a foul here in the quarter, so I missed San Juan's foul. Ivins, meanwhile, makes the first of 2. Second shot is forthcoming. I have to kind of quiet down. I don't want to jinx the shooter when they can hear me this obviously. Ivins makes this. It's almost like golf, and you're like, now he eyes the basket. Yeah, you do what you got to do, I guess. I'll just announce it that way from now on. Here's a spinning jumper that's good from 10 feet for Mena right at the free throw line. He has 6, and it's an 8-point lead again for American Heritage, 31-23. Anthony Doan almost carried that basketball, but is able to avoid that infraction. Now they'll hand it down into the left corner for Ivins. Back up top for Doan. Drive with the left hand, but pulls it up. Now sends it back out. Here's Justice Black with a drive, kicks it. Jayton Knight sends it top of the key again for Jake Ivins. Back to Knight. Long right wing 3 is off the mark and rebounded by American Heritage. So San Juan unable to make the most of the opportunity there. American Heritage coming back the other way. And a shot was swatted out of bounds, or actually maybe losing the handle right there was Peary. I'm not sure if he went up for a shot there or not, but the ball, somehow he mishandled and went out of bounds with it. And and San Juan has it back in the offensive end. Jake Ivins, left side for Anthony Doan now. Right up the middle, pump fake, outweights the D, but he goes a little too hard off the glass. San Juan was able to momentarily get their rebound, but now American Heritage comes out with it. Peary goes right through and runs over Jake Ivins, and Peary was unable to score anyway. San Juan with the rebound that time. And the Broncos back in the offensive end with it. Straightaway look. R.J. Dowley's going to finally take it. Too long off the glass. And rebounded by American Heritage. Now they bring it in, and a 3 is good from number 21, James Matson, who gets in on the action from the bench. It's an 11-point lead now, I think the biggest of the afternoon for American Heritage. Anthony Doan drives left of the paint, sends it into the middle to a streaking Brigham Nielsen, and he lays it up and in with the right hand. Good finish, good pass that time from Anthony Doan. And the Broncos stay within 9. 34-25 is the score. Under 5 minutes to go. And now a turnover, as I think a travel will be called on Winatana. And so that gives it back, or actually a timeout, excuse me. It looks like they're just going to call a timeout. So that's a lot different than a turnover. It'll be American Heritage ball when we come back out of this 30-second timeout. It is high school hoops on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. We're glad you've joined us this afternoon. At halftime, I'll try to list some of the scores going on. We got a lot of basketball. I've only seen a few scores, but we can try to report those. Of course, we know that Nucla beat both of the Monticello teams yesterday at the Bulldog Classic in Dove Creek. The Monticello girls winning a little bit earlier today, like that one was just completed. Again, we'll get to all that at halftime. And I'll try to sort all that out for you. Looks like we do have a score now, 12-6 in favor of Monticello currently at the end of, or maybe that's in the second quarter or nearing the end of the first quarter. Not sure there in Dove Creek. But here's Mana Winatana for 3. It bounces off, rebounded by San Juan. So out of the timeout, American Heritage can't muster any points. And the Broncos have it with 4.5 to go in the half. Now it eludes Anthony Doan. It was pulled out of his hand, or he ran into an American Heritage player, so no backcourt violation. Broncos keep it in the offensive end, and Jake Ivins travels. It was good defense that time for Mena, boxing out. And Jake Ivins turned around for options, nobody home, and that forces the turnover for San Juan. And the Patriots will walk it in, and it's Mana Winatana. And now they'll hand off. Weston Larson dribbling left and now back right. He'll send it over to the left side for Jaden Adams and then back to Winatana. Winatana, top of the key, will dish off. Here comes a 2 on the way for Mena, no good. Rebounded by San Juan. The Broncos have evened up the rebounding, and now there's a shot block by American Heritage. Unable to score that time, Dally on the drive. American Heritage quickly in transition, missing the 3 out of the right corner is Winatana. San Juan pulls down the board, and they'll run it up. Anthony Doan unable to score. Jake Ivins' shot was blocked. And the loose ball down to American Heritage, and going up for a shot and drawing a foul is James Matson. He'll go to the line. And so San Juan got an offensive board in there, but then American Heritage blocked a shot. So 2 opportunities that time stuffed by the Patriot defense. Unable to make the first of the baskets here is Matson. It is the first foul to Brigham Nielsen for San Juan. Now Matson's second shot on the way, and that one rolls in. So it's a 10-point lead, 35-25 with 3:15 to go. Jagger Neves looking for help, and finally Anthony Doan, a little bit late to arrive to the party, helps out. Here's Keaton Ivins with a spinner on the left baseline, no good. But a rebound for San Juan, and on the ensuing shot, they draw a foul, and Jagger Neves will shoot 2. And so Neves is at the line. Let's see who the foul is on. Weston Larson, his first. Jagger Neves has 4 points for San Juan as he goes to the line here. Make it 5 as he makes the front end. And the second shot is forthcoming. And that one bounces off and rebounded by American Heritage. So Jagger Neves 50% that time. And very quickly, the Patriots find a man open. Finishing with the right hand is Jaden Adams. And San Juan now down by 11 once again. 37-26. Jagger Neves up underneath the bucket. Can't get the shot to go off the glass, but gets his own rebound. We've called that play a lot. Now he has it swatted away, so a steal for American Heritage. And now a foul coming the other way against San Juan. Funny that they say the foul is on blue. Both teams are wearing blue here this evening. San Juan is, they're both wearing their road unis. San Juan in royal blue and American Heritage in navy. And the first shot on the way is off the mark from Jaden Adams. So it remains 37-26. It's the second foul on Jake Ivins. So that was the foul I missed in the first quarter. Or maybe I missed it here because now my fouls here in the second quarter match those on the scoreboard. And the second shot is also off the mark from Adams. So he misses both, and San Juan avoids any damage. Now the runner is no good for Jake Ivins. And rebounded by San Juan, though. So the Broncos will keep it in the offensive end. And here's Dally, right wing for Doan. Doan dribbling across the free throw line. Spins away. A fake shot, and then almost got it to roll in off the glass. And it looks like on the rebound, San Juan commits a foul here. So American Heritage had pulled down the defensive board and drew a foul on San Juan. And it'll be the second on Brigham Nielsen. So all 5 starters for San Juan have fouls now. And American Heritage inbounds the basketball from the far sideline. Down to 2 minutes to go in the first half. They're up by 11 points. They have led from the start. So the Broncos going to try to chip away at this deficit, but right now, American Heritage is giving them a handful. This ball out of bounds. San Juan mishandling a rebound opportunity down under the basket when they had nobody but Broncos there. So it was Kyle Mena missing the shot. And a dead ball rebound for American Heritage. And then who else but Brady Peary scoring for the Patriots, as he has been hot here of late. He has a game-high 11 points now with that bucket, and it's 39-26. Meanwhile, R.J. Daly answering for San Juan as he drives through traffic underneath the bucket and just floats the two-footer. 1:20 remaining in the half now. It's 39-28. An 11-point lead again. Peary missing a runner. Gets his own rebound, though, and they battle. And finally, he'll kick it out, and hitting a 17-footer is Adams. 41-28 for American Heritage. Over on the far side in the offensive end, Anthony Doan sends it into the middle. Jake Ivins in there, had the ball knocked away, but San Juan keeps it. Anthony Doan spins to the bucket, misses the shot, and it's rebounded by American Heritage. Patriots in the offensive end. Here's a kick and a three on the way for Larson. No good. Rebounded by San Juan. Broncos back the other way. Jagger Neves pulls up for the 8-footer. Misses short. And rebounded by American Heritage. So the team's trading misses here. We are into the final 25 seconds. And Mana Winatana wants to hang on to the basketball over by the midcourt line. Anthony Doan pressing him out there at the sideline. He's right in front of the scorer's table, down to 15 seconds. Now he'll drive around. They set a screen. Winatana is grabbed a hold of, and a foul to Jake Ivins here will be his third, unfortunately. And so San Juan down 41-28 will be sending Mana Winatana to the line here. As that puts them in the bonus. There's only 9 seconds remaining in the half, though. First shot rolls in for Mana. And I'm guessing we're going to see his brother in the second half. I see him over on the bench itching to get in, obviously with some disciplinary issues last night. During last night's game, he is unable to play. Also, it resulted in a technical foul against his team. But Mana Winatana makes both of those. He and Brady Peary both have 11 points in this half. There's a three out of the right corner for San Juan at the buzzer. That's the way the half will end, and that was a huge bucket right there for San Juan. That makes it a 12-point game, what would have been a 15-point deficit for San Juan heading into the halftime break. So it is halftime, 16 minutes in the books, and the American Heritage Patriots on top of the San Juan Broncos 43-31. It's the championship game of the Enterprise Round Robin. We're glad you've joined us. We'll take a break and return with halftime stats. It is High School Hoops on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Life is a series of cherished moments, filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones are remembered with the grace, dignity, and individuality they deserve. San Juan Mortuary, celebrating life, honoring memories, transcending tradition.
Men can take a hit. We can tough it out. We're told to suck it up a lot more than we're asked to talk it out. But the truth is, the only way to tackle what's up here is by talking it out. To simply say what we're feeling. With friends, family, or the Utah Crisis Hotline. Put this number in your contacts right now. And if you're ever wondering if you have someone to talk to, you do. 24/7.
Back live to Enterprise High School. It's Rhett Sifford High School Hoops on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Welcome you back in. It's the halftime show now on High School Hoops. It's a 43-31 lead for American Heritage in this championship game of this Enterprise Round Robin tournament. We're going to take a look at some first half stats now, starting it off with the teams. And American Heritage winning the first quarter 25-19, but the Broncos kept them honest with a nice 18-12. No, I'm sorry. American Heritage won both quarters, 25-19 in the first and 18-12 in the second. I knew that it was a sizable enough deficit that the Broncos had not won a quarter, so I didn't know what I was talking about there. The largest lead was up to as much as 15. That was right before the three-point basket for R.J. Daly on the last shot of the half. And so that bucket is huge, and we'll remember that late in the game as San Juan's able to do what they did to Roland Hall last night and win in comeback fashion. But team shooting now, and San Juan struggling in that first half, just 11 of 36 for 31%. Conversely, American Heritage is shooting 59%, 17 of 29 from the floor. From two-point range, the Patriots 15 of 20 for 75%. San Juan is 10 of 30 for just 33%. So inside the arc, the Broncos really struggling in a spot that you can't really struggle if you want to have success. And that's in the short game. In the three-point shooting department, American Heritage 2 of 9 for 22%. San Juan is 1 of 6 for 17%. And from the line, 70% for the Patriots, 7 of 10. San Juan is 8 of 13 for 62%. The Broncos, let's see. It's the Patriots actually out-rebounding the Broncos 19-18 in that first half. And again, these stats are all unofficial. And let's see. Turnovers, both teams with 2 in the first half. American Heritage has the only blocked shot, and both teams have 1 steal. And again, all that's unofficial, and it's a 43-31 halftime lead for American Heritage. Let's take a look at the individual scoring now, and 2 players leading the way, both for American Heritage, Brady Peary and Mana Winatana. My guess is we're going to see Nephi Winatana in the second half, and he's their leading scorer and a very skilled player, to say the least. So I think the Broncos are expecting that. We'll probably see some defensive shifts that have to take place. But the Broncos have got to find a way to get more balls to fall into the bucket. Jaden Adams and Kyle Mena, meanwhile, have a 6-point night going so far for American Heritage. Weston Larson with 5 so far. James Matson with 4 points in the first half. 3-point baskets, 2 of them for the Patriots, 1 each for Weston Larson and James Matson. Anthony Doan's leading the way for San Juan with 10 points. It's a 7-point night so far for R.J. Daly. 5 points in the first half for Jagger Neves, 4 for Jake Ivins, 2 each for Brigham Nielsen and Justice Black. And Trip Palmer has 1 point off the bench for San Juan. The Broncos with 1 3-point basket, and that was off the hand of R.J. Daly right at the end of the first half. To keep San Juan sort of in this thing, but obviously they cannot continue to allow American Heritage to stretch the lead out. But obviously the Broncos are heavy underdogs in this ball game, so it will be a world-class upset, I think, that's for sure. So we'll see what San Juan comes out like in the second half. They obviously came out an entirely different team last night against Roland Hall and ended up coming back to win that game. So we'll see what they can pull off here in the second half against an even tougher American Heritage squad. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll talk about some other games going on around the area, other events, and then we'll get set to start the second half. It's 43-31 American Heritage. Stay with us live from the round robin at Enterprise High School. It's High School Hoops on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Hello, my name is David Palmer, and I am the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Blanding.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Stubbs. As a recently elected San Juan County Commissioner,
we are so excited to collaborate with SJC-PAC, Coalition, and San Juan Counseling to bring parents-empowered messaging to our beautiful Wellness Center pool area.
Parents Empowered is a Utah campaign designed to help parents understand the power they have in reducing the risk of underage drinking.
Survey data tells us that youth perception of risk in San Juan County in all grades went from 83.6% in 2019 to 68.3% in 2021. This means our kids don't understand the damage that alcohol and other drugs can cause on their developing brains.
Did you know that Utah teens reported that parental disapproval is the #1 reason they choose not to drink?
Never assume your children know what your rules, expectations, and attitudes are. Write them down and discuss them with your kids so they understand the reasons behind them.
Bonding is essential to preventing underage drinking. Children are less likely to drink when the parents are involved in their lives and when children and the parents feel close to one another.
Together, we can help build a stronger San Juan County.
Let's do this!
Back live to Enterprise High School, where a round robin is taking place this weekend, and it's the San Juan boys taking on the American Heritage boys right now in the championship game. These were the two winners from last night. We do welcome you back in. It's Rhett Sifford here tonight at Enterprise High School. High School Hoops on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. It's been another full weekend of high school hoops, although maybe not as full as last week. All our games were spread apart pretty effectively last week, so we didn't have near as much overlap. Obviously, we are currently overlapping the Monticello and Dove Creek boys at the Bulldog Classic in Dove Creek, and so we've kind of taken over the radio airwaves, but that game is on StreamUtah.Live if you're interested in having that streaming as well. So we've got games going on, multiple games this weekend, multiple games among all our teams. Let's see if I can detail some of it here. And we've already talked about the comeback win last night for the San Juan boys, 68-63 over Roland Hall. And so that's the first one up on my calendar, and actually just need to enter in that score for myself. And then let's see, just kind of going down the list. You know, as we've mentioned, Dove Creek is hosting the Bulldog Classic, both the girls and the boys, and Dove Creek boys losing last night to Telluride, 34-23, so that's why they're in consolation play with the Monticello boys today, who lost to Nucla last night, 46-25. So Nucla and Telluride will be playing in the boys' championship game this evening at Dove Creek, and so we wish Nucla well. Telluride is a little bit out of our local reach. Let's see, the Dolores boys winning over Creed, 60-38. Grand County boys losing at Paiute, 82-73. Green River is playing at the Panther Winter Classic in Price at Pinnacle High School, and I have been unable to get results from those guys. Montezuma Cortez boys losing to Meade, and they are playing at the Palisade Winter Classic. That final 81-38 yesterday. We haven't gotten updates from the Monument Valley boys, also playing at the Winter Classic at Pinnacle. Let's see. I think that's all the time we're going to have as we are back underway now in this ball game in front of us. And it is the third quarter of the Round Robin Championship at Enterprise High School. San Juan down to American Heritage by 12 as we start the second half. And here's Jake Ivins driving hard to the hole and finishing from the left side. And that's a good way to start for San Juan. 43-33 is the score. Trim back down to 10 points. And just looking around, and I think we do. Yep, Nephi Winatana is in the ball game, and his brother Mana scoring right here to get it back up to 12 points for the Patriots. So the full gamut of players is in for American Heritage now. So the Broncos dealing with the full-on varsity squad. And let's see who went out. I guess it's probably 3 Jaden Adams. Indeed, that's the case, as San Juan right now just possessing on the perimeter. Starting to run out of time, though. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Now a pass underneath goes through the hands of Keaton Ivins out of bounds, and San Juan turns the ball over, their third turnover of this game. And it'll send American Heritage the other way. No press from San Juan. And the Patriots will work it in. And now just working on the perimeter is Weston Larson with the basketball. Winatana goes into the left corner. 3 on the way, rims out from Larson. Rebounded by San Juan. Broncos coming the other way. Slowly but surely. Jake Ivins comes across now. They'll find an open Daly in the right corner, and he drains the 3. 45-36. Back to a 9-point deficit. And San Juan slowly chipping away. That's what you got to do. Here's American Heritage back in the offensive end. Brady Peary spinning into the paint, spinning to the bucket, and he's grabbed a hold of by Brigham Nielsen. That's an obvious foul, and that will send Peary to the line. Brigham Nielsen still in football mode right there, just basically tackled Peary. And so that results in a 2-shot situation for the American Heritage Junior, and he misses the first, it looks like. Either that or they haven't put the point up there. Missed it, so second shot right through. So Brady Peary goes 50% that time. San Juan basketball coming across. Jake Ivins, they're dealing with a little half-court press here. Now Anthony Doan down into the corner. They'll double team immediately on Daly. Now over to the left side. Oh, that was Brigham Nielsen, excuse me. Here's Daly rimming in the 3. He's got 3 trays on the evening. He's also got a game-high 13 points now, tied with Mana Winatana, Brady Peary immediately coming back to answer for American Heritage. But for a moment, the deficit was just 7 points. Now it's back to 9. San Juan with it in the offensive end. Right now it seems like you want to get R.J. Daly open, give him a chance to shoot for 3. That time he faked it, dishes back out to Anthony Doan. Doan through traffic, sends it into the corner. Ivins into the middle, picks up the dribble, sends it back out high. Now Daly, straightaway 3. No. So the streak comes to a close. He'd hit 3 straight 3-point baskets, and now apparently American Heritage touches the ball as it is headed out of bounds, and that'll be, I'm not sure what the call is going to be. They're going to talk this over maybe. Is this going to be alternating possession, or they're going to have to discuss it? San Juan basketball here. They're going to hold up the play, and they can figure out that this is probably supposed to be maybe American Heritage basketball. We'll wait and see. I think it's, I'm not really. It's going to be a jump ball. It's who touched it last right there, and I don't think they determined who did. It was both players touching the ball at the same time. So I think by rule that should be a jump ball, and the arrow right now pointing in favor of American Heritage. But let's see what they rule. It looks like it's going to be San Juan ball. So the Broncos will inbound in the offensive end, and here's Daly to Jake Ivins. Ivins spinning into the paint on the pivot foot. Now hands back. Anthony Doan spins to the paint. Goes hard to the basket. The shot rims off and rebounded by American Heritage. They run it up. Here's Nephi Winatana. And Jake Ivins' job is to shut him down, and he does pretty well right there. Here's R.J. Daly with a bit of a dolphin flop on the basketball there. That was pretty awesome, or a seal. I don't know what you would call that thing. The penguin flop there. That was hilarious. The Broncos ended up getting the rebound. Both teams unofficially with 20 rebounds in this game. That's the first foul on Winatana on that play. And now the Broncos have a shot swatted out of bounds, I think. Anthony Doan as another block by American Heritage. That's 2 for them in this game. San Juan will inbound, and Jayton Knight was underneath the bucket, but he couldn't get the shot to go. Coming back and scoring immediately is Weston Larson for American Heritage. And the Broncos quickly back in the offensive end. Jake Ivins has it out on the left wing. Hands off to Jayton Knight. Thought about the 3. Goes into the corner. Broncos moving their feet. Anthony Doan releases the straightaway 3. It's good. And he has 13. San Juan stays within 8 points. It's 50-42 with that 3. That was a big 3-point basket. And now a foul on the floor against San Juan here as the Patriots had it set up in the offensive end. Looks like this will be Jayton Knight's first. San Juan has 2 in the quarter now. 3:58 to go in this third quarter. Here's American Heritage sending it in all the way into the backcourt. And so Weston Larson has time to just dribble it back into the front court. And he's way out high on the right wing. Daly, now they set a pick, or a screen, I should say, get the shot, and it bounces off from Weston Larson. Would have been for 3. Rebound goes out of bounds during a foul, it looks like. And it'll be American Heritage basketball. Foul is the second on Anthony Doan, and 3 now to San Juan in the third quarter. They get the ball in, and now kicking it away from himself and recovering is Weston Larson. And it's going to be a lane violation here on American Heritage meantime. So that'll turn it back over to San Juan. That's the third turnover of the game for American Heritage. And the Broncos work it in all the way down into the left corner. A Jayton Knight 3 misses. Rebound for San Juan, though. There was a shot no good for Keaton Ivins. Daly missed, but a foul. And Daly will go to the line. So a couple offensive reboards that time for San Juan. And Daly is at the line for the Broncos following the second foul of the night on Nephi Winatana, who has so far been held scoreless. And I don't think he's playing necessarily with the usual edge that he would, as he was ejected from last night's game for some reason and was only able to come in the second half here. So he's noticeably less angst-filled, if you will, or with the ego out there here this afternoon. As San Juan's R.J. Daly makes both of those foul shots. American Heritage has it set up. Here's a fade 3, no good for Mana Winatana. And on the rebound, San Juan pulls it down and draws an American Heritage foul. And this will be the first on Mana Winatana. Both teams with 3 in the third quarter. We have 3:09 left in this round-robin championship game between the San Juan Broncos and American Heritage Patriots. The Broncos with it in the offensive end, down by just 6 points now. So slowly but surely, or quietly I should say, they have been able to get back in this. Now a major league stuff by Weston Larson on a Jake Ivins shot. And if you just want to have an idea, I don't know how official this is, but Jake Ivins listed at 5'8", Weston Larson 6'2". And so San Juan will inbound the basketball in the offensive end as that block shot went out of bounds off American Heritage. Here's Anthony Doan in the paint for the Broncos. Spins into triple coverage, kicks it out. R.J. Daly 3, yes. And he has 4 on the night now. And suddenly we've got ourselves a 3-point game, 50-47. As Nephi Winatana walks it in for the Patriots. They'll hand off to the right side. Man was wide open. That's Jaden Adams. And now they'll set a screen, but don't get a shot. Peary drives in, left of the bucket. Baseline shot is no good. Rebound try is no good. So 22 misses, 3 misses. And the ball bounces over here off out of bounds on the near side. And so a couple rebounds that time for American Heritage, and they will reset over here on the near sideline with the dead ball rebound that came out of bounds. And Weston Larson has it in for the Patriots. Sends it into the middle. Out near the midcourt paint is Peary. Down into the right corner they go to Winatana. Nephi Winatana with his first drive to the bucket. Had the shot partially blocked. Peary right there to follow it up, though. San Juan, I'm going to say, gets their first block of the game right there. And the Broncos back the other way. The seas parted for Jake Ivins suddenly, but he could not make the open layup. And on the rebound, the ball goes out of bounds as American Heritage is unable to control it. So the Broncos will have the basketball in the offensive end with 98 seconds to go. And Anthony Doan sends a touchdown pass into the backcourt to get it in to Jake Ivins. Now San Juan will set it up. Doan thought about the 3. Drive with the left hand around the left side. No good with the roll. And it's rebounded by American Heritage coming back the other way. There's a hard hit. They're going to call the charge on Peary as Jayton Knight went down pretty hard. And now the Broncos need to get back in the position to inbound this basketball in the back court. They're going to check on either Jayden Nice just tying his shoe. I guess he's no worse for wear. And San Juan's back to action here, 1:15 to go in this third quarter. Nice pass to Anthony Doan. Backdoor from way out beyond the perimeter, and he lays it up and in from the right side. Now a shot no good for three from Larson. Good rebound by San Juan, and they'll run it up. Jake Ivins into traffic, has to slow it up. And now they go left side. Keaton Ivins baseline drive to the bucket, and he scores. And that pumps up the crowd. We got ourselves a 1-point game. It's 52-51. The Broncos are on a rally. Down to 52 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Got ourselves a game here. And we're going to take a real quick break. We'll be back out to continue this round-robin championship game at Enterprise. Stay with us. It's High School Hoops on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Last year I was at my lowest, going through some pretty serious depression. A couple friends of mine stopped by the house and said they were worried about me. Said they'd feel a lot better if they could hold on to my firearms until things turned around. I think they saved my life.
If your loved ones are struggling, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home, because things do get better.
Blue Mountain Hospital, we're thrilled to welcome Cade Lyman, Dane Lyman, and Brian Kirk, joining our unparalleled team of healthcare professionals. Blue Mountain Hospital has been setting the standard for rural hospitals since 2009.
Back live to Enterprise High School. It's High School Hoops on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Good evening. Rhett Sifford welcoming you in. It's 4 o'clock almost. I think we can officially say evening at this point, especially in the winter when 4 o'clock almost seems like midnight out there. But maybe that's 5 o'clock. I'm not sure. But we are back to action. San Juan nearly stealing the ball, but Keaton Ivins is going to be whistled for his third foul on the reach around. So that is 4 on San Juan in this third quarter. Both teams with 4 here in the third. So in the final 40 seconds, any additional foul will put someone into the bonus. And meanwhile, it's a good one at Dove Creek as well. The Monticello boys leading the host Bulldogs 27-20 in the consolation boys game at the Bulldog Classic. So that game going on StreamUtah.Live. I think that is in the second quarter. And so when we're done here tonight from Enterprise, if there's still some time left on that clock, we'll send you back out there for the end of that game. Here's an inbound pass and a missed shot from Kyle Mena on the reverse layup try. So a little lackadaisical there. Not a whole lot of urgency from American Heritage. I know they play with a chip on their shoulder, and San Juan right now has their heads to the grindstone here and are working hard. They pull back to within 1. Jake Ivins trying to give San Juan the lead, but missed the shot off to the left from in the lane. And the Patriots work it back into the offensive end. There's Mana Winatana, far side. Up top here to Nephi Winatana at the buzzer. He was moving right out of position and had to save that ball from going out of bounds, and then just threw a circus shot back over his head that, of course, didn't get close. And so that's the way the quarter ends. And we've got ourselves a ball game, folks. It's 52-51 in favor of American Heritage after they've led by as much as 15 in this one, so very similar to last night. But San Juan hasn't been able to take the lead yet like they did on Roland Hall last night. It is the championship game of this Enterprise round robin this weekend. 4 teams in attendance, and Enterprise winning the consolation game over Roland Hall earlier on this afternoon, and now San Juan trying to come back and upset the American Heritage Patriots in the championship game. We'll take one real quick break and be back out to start the fourth quarter. Stay with us. It's High School Hoops live from Enterprise on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours. professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Quarter of this weekend's action at Enterprise High School. Enterprise round robin here this weekend, and high school hoops on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part by Blue Mountain Hospital, Furniture Gallery, Dependable Auto Repair, Primary Residential Mortgage, Four Corners Electric, and San Juan School District Adult Education. Huge thanks to all the sponsors making the broadcast possible. And we are back underway, starting the final period here tonight with American Heritage on top by 1. They're going to get the screen 3, and that shot no good from Weston Larson out of the right wing. The rebound bounces off the top of the glass. It'll be San Juan basketball. And the Broncos have a chance to take their first lead in the game on this possession. We are fresh underway in the fourth quarter. Broncos try to set a little pick and roll, but that didn't work too well. They'll give it to Jayton Knight in the left corner. He hands off on a reverse to Anthony Doan. Down into the paint. Trip Palmer handed off to R.J. Daly. He had the shot stuffed, but the ball bounces down to Jake Ivins, and now the C's part for Jayton Knight. He can't get the layup to go. That was an open look. And now spinning in the other way and scoring is Kyle Mena. So that makes it a 3-point ball game again, 54-51. San Juan trying to tie on a Jake Ivins 3. It's a little short. And the the American Heritage back the other way, and scoring again is Kyle Mena. And just working the athletic shots now, just spinning their bodies backwards and bending themselves like Gumby to score. And it's 56-51. So the Broncos were within 1, but American Heritage has opened strong in this fourth quarter. And they've stretched the lead back to 5. Here's Jake Ivins moving left. Now spinning on the baseline is Anthony Doan. Has to kick it back out to the left wing, Jake Ivins. Into the corner again, Doan. Thought about the 3. Goes into the lane. Misses the jumper. Trip Palmer misses a putback try. And the Broncos shooting is suddenly ice cold. And meanwhile, American Heritage just pouring it on as they run the court and lay it up and in. And so back the other way, San Juan in the offensive end. Weston Larson scoring for American Heritage, makes it 58-51. San Juan has the ball almost knocked out of bounds, but they keep it. Now Anthony Doan for 3, and it's off the mark. We're going to get a foul on American Heritage away from the shot. So I assume that shot counts, and then a foul, the first of the fourth quarter against American Heritage. Fresh 35 for San Juan. And that's the third foul on Jaden Adams for the Patriots. Of course, he started the game in the absence of Nephi Winatana. Now San Juan gets it into Trip Palmer, but he misses again. And the Broncos shooting is extremely cold as American Heritage hits a 3. Was that number 11 or 12 scoring there? We'll have to see on the replay maybe, but not sure who that was right there. It was either Weston Larson or Kyle Mena on the 3 for American Heritage. And we're about to get a look at it here. I can't see, actually. I think that was number 12, Weston Larson, on the score. So he hits the 3, makes it a 10-point game again, 61-51. We've got ourselves a timeout on the floor. And so it has been all American Heritage in this fourth quarter after they allowed San Juan to pull back to within 1 point at the end of 3. They have come out on fire in the fourth quarter and have stretched a bit of a lead again. High school hoops on Red Rock 93 or Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part by Jones and DeMille Engineering, Bradford Tire, San Juan Counseling, Pick a Stitch Embroidery and Apparel, San Juan Mortuary, Four Corners Homes, and Utah Navajo Health System. And a huge thanks to all the sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. So we're set to go after the San Juan timeout. The Broncos going to try to reel it in here a little bit. They've had a pretty cold fourth quarter shooting. And we'll see if they can overcome here against a tough American Heritage squad. This has been a closer game score-wise than their first meeting a week ago. And here's guess who but Jagger Neves draining a three from the left corner for San Juan. We haven't called that a whole lot this year, but the Broncos stay within 7, 61-54. Here's another three on the way for Larson, and he gets a super friendly roll that time, and it's a 10-point lead again, 64-54. Broncos back the other way. Jagger Neves will pull back for three. It's short this time. Rebounded by San Juan, though, and the Broncos will work it to the bucket. Anthony Doan can't score. They're going to call him for the charge. And that will turn it back over to American Heritage, and it looks like Mana Winatana is a little bit injured on the play. He's working out the leg, and he's a little bit limpy. But these are high school kids. They're made of rubber. He'll work it in, and he does still seem to be laboring a little bit as the Broncos end up stealing the ball or force a jump ball over on the far side. And Jagger Neves is also a little bit hobbled. We got guys limping all over the court, gimping all over the place out here. And it is a turnover, so I think a jump ball in favor of San Juan, and the Broncos will work it back in, down by 10. Some passing all around the floor here. Now Jagger Neves into the paint, kicks out for Keaton Ivins, down to the right baseline. He'll dish it all the way across the court. Anthony Doan pulls up for the 4-footer and hits it off the glass from the left side. 64-56, an 8-point game again. We are just over halfway in this fourth quarter. 3:50 left in the game now. It's a 64-56 lead for the Patriots, who have led from the start. Here's Nephi Winatana with a drive right up the middle. Misses the layup, but he does draw a foul, and he'll shoot two. And surprisingly, he has still not scored in this game, but my guess is that's about to change right here. That is the first foul on Trip Palmer for San Juan. And he does make the first of two, does Winatana. So he is now officially on the board. Obviously their leading scorer, but had a little bit of the wind taken out of his sails, I think, from whatever went on last night. I am not privy to that. Obviously some exciting moments, and Winatana was removed from the game last night. So that's not what you normally like to see, but it also resulted in foul shots for San Juan on a technicality before the game even started here today. So the Broncos got 2 free points before the game began. And now over the back, Winatana will be called for his third foul of the game. So he has more fouls than points now, and that's definitely a rarity. And that is also the second foul for American Heritage. Well, they've got it. Yeah, that is his third foul. Second foul for American Heritage in the quarter. Now a Trip Palmer pass doesn't find anybody on the far baseline and goes out of bounds against San Juan. So the Broncos turn it over for the fourth time tonight. It had been a while since they committed a turnover, but that one gives it back to American Heritage, who are up by 10, looking to win this Enterprise Round Robin Championship here today. And there's a great drive for Brady Peary, spun to the basket and rolled it up and in from right underneath. And also American Heritage trying to sweep the season series with the Broncos, and we don't normally say that. We don't normally have a season series. There's an athletic effort by Jake Ivins, and he scores. Coming right through the defense, and now here's Peary again driving in from the right side. He misses the shot, but he draws a foul and will shoot two. And it's going to be the fourth on Keaton Ivins. San Juan's third here in this fourth quarter, and we are down to 2:44 to go now in the game. So The Broncos need everything they can get right now, and having Brady Peary score on the first foul shot wasn't what they wanted, but that's what they get, and that makes it an 11-point game against 69-58. Second shot bounces off, and the Broncos pull down the rebound. And they run it the other way. Anthony Doan right through the lane will float up a 4-footer, and that one falls. And it's back to a 9-point deficit, 69-60. 2.5 minutes to go in the game now. As Mana Winatana will work it in on Anthony Doan. Hands off to Brady Peary on the way through. Peary drives into the paint, just throws up a shot in traffic. That one comes off and down to San Juan. And the Broncos will work it in. Need to get a little urgency here. Down to 2 minutes to go, down by 9. Anthony Doan at the top of the key on the dribble, through traffic. Kicks to the corner. 3 for Keaton Ivins. No. That was a good look for the Broncos, but it won't go. And a defensive rebound for American Heritage. Now they'll work it in and take some time off the clock as Mena dishes back out to Winatana. Now back out high here. Well, Weston Larson's not going to waste any time. He loves shooting from out there, and the rebound off the mark. Back down to San Juan. And the Broncos will call a timeout with 96 seconds to go in this round-robin championship game, down by 9 to American Heritage. We'll take a break ourselves and return to Enterprise High School. Stay with us. It's High School Hoops on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Compared to the vocational schools of the past, today's career and technical education courses span nearly every industry, including health science, business, digital arts, and computer science. CTE students learn valuable, real-world technical skills with a solid academic foundation while exploring career options or pursuing their passions. Did you know San Juan School District offers 19 CTE pathways for secondary students? To learn more, talk to a school counselor or CTE teacher today.
This weekend, San Juan boys and American Heritage boys in a rematch of last week's matchup in Blanding, taking on each other here again on neutral ground this time. The winner is the Enterprise Round Robin champion, and there's a great play, a little give and go from Daly to Doan, from Doan to Daly, back to Doan. He scores through traffic and draws the 4th foul on Winatana. He's got an add-one opportunity. So Anthony Doan makes it a 7-point game. He could add one right here and unable, and it's rebounded by American Heritage. So missed opportunity for San Juan. And the Patriots will work it back into the offensive end. Left side, Mana Winatana, top of the key for Nephi Winatana. Drives left side, floats it up off the glass, no good. He hasn't taken a lot of shots. He just not playing with the same edge as he normally does. It's pretty obvious. And now here's a shot from the right side, no good. Would have been for 3 for Peary, and rebounded this time by San Juan. Broncos coming the other way. Spinning through the lane, missing the floater is Jake Ivins. Rebounded by American Heritage, and as they run it up, a foul to San Juan, and I think this is going to be Keaton Ivins' 5th and final. Judging by the way he reacted. And meanwhile, Nephi Winatana also in danger of fouling out after not coming into this game until the second half. So Keaton Ivins will foul out with 2 points this evening. Jayton Knight comes back in to replace him. And we are down into the last minute of this game, though. Anthony Doan on the foul as Winatana comes in. They're going to give continuation. Anthony Doan was fouling for a long time while Winatana was running up, and Coach Nielsen doesn't like that call. But they give Winatana continuation, so an add-one opportunity here, and that's not what the Broncos want. And Coach Nielsen may have to be escorted out. We'll see. He's definitely, with a mostly empty gym, it's pretty obvious to hear what he's saying. But and they also didn't stop the clock. So it's down to 31 seconds to go. They're going to have to add some time on the clock as well. So I think maybe in the drama, everybody lost their heads, and we do have an add-one opportunity for Mana Winatana, who has 15 points for American Heritage. They have 4 players in double-digit scoring, as they typically do. San Juan's got 2 and a couple on the cusp. But Manawinatana completes the three-point play, so that is not the way the Broncos wanted that to go. You normally obviously don't foul during the shot when you're trying to foul. San Juan didn't think they did, but the referees gave continuation, so it's a 72-64 lead into the final 40 seconds. The Broncos running the offense. Anthony Doan drives to the baseline, lays it up and in with the right hand off the glass, and now a foul on the floor to San Juan. Jake Ivins stepping in for the foul, and that'll put American Heritage back to the line, and it's Nephi Winatana making the trip. And they're just trying to figure out the fouls, I think, and who is fouled out of the game. Nobody fouling out on that play. And so it will be 2 shots for Nephi Winatana. 35 seconds is all that remains in this championship game. So barring an impressive miracle finish by San Juan, although Nephi Winatana missing the first of the foul shots here, I guess it's totally still possible, but it would take an astounding finish, that's for sure. Winatana makes the second of the 2, so he'll probably finish the night with 3 points. Here's R.J. Dowley, right wing 3 on the way. That missed everything and goes out of bounds, apparently touched by American Heritage. So, yeah, deflected out. And the Broncos will inbound the basketball. Jake Ivins' shot is stuffed immediately by American Heritage. They've had 5 blocks tonight, and that is not surprising with their size and athleticism. San Juan looking for an option. Anthony Doan gets the ball in the left corner, releases the 3, no good. Rebound comes down into the corner to American Heritage. And that should just about do it. The shot clock is off unless San Juan elects to foul here. Anthony Doan still playing Nephi Winatana hard. He dishes cross court to Peary, who will just protect the basketball. He'll hand off now to Winatana. Jake Ivins not quitting on the play, though, and that's the way it will conclude. It's a 73-64 final. I must have added some points for San Juan that were not correct. I thought they had 66. I'll check that on my stats. And meanwhile, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back out for some final game stats and maybe a discussion with Coach Nielsen. And then we'll see how much time is left in the Monticello-Dove Creek game in Dove Creek as to whether we send it back over there for the conclusion of our evening here on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Stay with us. We'll take a break, and we'll open the postgame show when we return. It's High School Hoops on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Utah is our home, unique in its strengths and struggles. And sadly, suicide in Utah is one of our greatest challenges. So people across the state are coming together to answer the call, to change our culture around suicide and mental health, to give hope and provide genuine help. Together, we can get through, lift up, look ahead, and live on. Learn how you can reach out at liveonutah.org.
Back live to Enterprise High School as we open up the High School Hoops postgame show on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. The Enterprise round robin once again in the books, and this time it was the San Juan boys doing battle with the American Heritage boys in what was a rematch of their first meeting of the year a week ago at San Juan High School in Blanding. Same result here, but an entirely different game. American Heritage didn't have their top scorer, Nephi Winatana, due to him having some disciplinary issues last night, was ejected from the game, and so that affected the team, obviously, and affected his play, to be sure, when he came in the second half. Even it was not the same Nephi Winatana that we've seen. And so they were a little depleted here this afternoon, but still outlasting San Juan 73-64 the final. Let's take a look at some team scores. The Broncos' best quarter was the third. They won the third quarter 20-9 to rally back in that. Very similar to what they did against Roland Hall last night, but they were never able to get over the hump. They were never able to even tie the game. They got back to within one at the end of three, and then from that point, American Heritage really showed up in the fourth quarter and came out hot. They win the final frame 21-13 to take down the 73-64 win. The Patriots ended up shooting a very solid 52% from the floor tonight, 28-54. Conversely, San Juan struggling a bit, staying down in the 30 percentile all night long. They ended the night 24 of 73 for just 33%. So from the field, I know San Juan wants to get that figure better, and if you take a look at this one, they were not. They were right on that pace from inside the arc, just 18 of 15 short shooting tonight. So that's an area where they need to improve as far as tonight goes. That's not necessarily an indication of their play throughout the season, but 18 of 54 from inside the arc for 33%. American Heritage, on the other hand, was 24 of 35 for 69%. From two-point range. Three-point shooting tonight, American Heritage 4 of 19 for 21%. San Juan actually did better in that department. They were a pretty solid 6 of 19 for 32%. 4 of those for R.J. Daly as he got hot in the second half from long range. From the line tonight, American Heritage finishes 13 of 19 for 68%. San Juan was 10 of 16 for 63%, not too shabby. Rebounding, San Juan winning in that department unofficially by my stats, 34 boards for San Juan and 31 for American Heritage. In the turnovers, there were just 4 for the Broncos and just 3 for American Heritage. Again, unofficial stats here. Not surprisingly, American Heritage won in the blocks department. They blocked 5 San Juan shots, and San Juan had 1 block on the night. And steals, 1 steal for each team tonight. Individual scoring, and it was actually Anthony Doan leading all scoring tonight with 23 points, but I did have him for 25, so I had the wrong score, so I'm assuming at some point when he missed a shot, I gave him a bucket, but hopefully I didn't rob him of 2 points and it was somebody else missing. But if that is the case, then Anthony may have had 25 points tonight. Either way, it was a fairly impressive night for the San Juan scoring leader. For American Heritage, it was a 19-point night for Brady Peary. He had a great night. Mana Winatana, 16 points. Weston Larson with 15. Kyle Mena had 10 tonight for the Patriots. 6 points for Jaden Adams, 4 for James Matson, and just the 3 points from the line for Nephi Winatana this evening. The 4 3-point baskets, 3 of them for Weston Larson and 1 for James Matson. For San Juan, we already mentioned Anthony Doan finished the night with 23, maybe 25 points. So all the rest of these are maybes also if I took away the stat from the wrong man. but we'll list them unofficially. R.J. Daly with 18 points tonight. Jagger Neves and Jake Ivins both helped out with 8. And from there, it looks like almost everybody else had just 2. Brigham Nielsen, Keaton Ivins, Justice Black all with 2, and Trip Palmer was unable to score in the second half, so he finishes the night with 1 point. Of the 6 3-point baskets, we told you 4 of them were from R.J. Daly, and 1 each for Jagger Neves and Anthony Doan tonight in the loss. So a 73-64 final as San Juan falls to American Heritage. As far as next week goes for the Broncos, it's going to be a matchup, the annual pre-Christmas matchup with the Monticello Buckaroos, and that one is slated, I believe, for a 7 p.m. tip on Tuesday. I'll have to check with Coach Nielsen on that. It looks like they may have headed out, so I don't think Coach Nielsen is going to chat with me, it looks like, this evening, unless he comes running in here at the last minute, which he has done in the past. But I think we're going to go ahead and sign it off, and we're actually not going to play the traditional close tonight. Let me just make sure we get these final sponsors mentioned. High School Hoops brought to you in part this evening by Main Street Drug and Boutique, San Juan Credit Union, Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage, and Innovation Medical Group. And again, lots more of you on the list. I think David should probably play the close from Dove Creek tonight. I'm just checking in again just to make sure that's still going on. No score reported on that stream and no time, so I have no idea what the condition is over there. But that'll do it for us here tonight in Enterprise. We're just going to join the Monticello Buckaroos and the Dove Creek Bulldogs in the Bulldog Classic at Dove Creek in just a moment, as I say some thanks to all the sponsors, all the listeners and the viewers, and to Caleb Carr running things on the Stream Utah side tonight. Thanks for everybody involved. Rhett Sifford saying so long from Enterprise High School. We'll now send you out to Easton Nielsen coming in right at the last minute, so we'll get a chance to talk with him real quick as we will abort our departure, and we'll do that in just a moment since we're going to get a chance to talk with Coach Nielsen. Stand by here. And so we're excited to be joined with Coach Nielsen. Coach, I know that wasn't the same type of loss that you had against that team a week ago. I thought, it wasn't perfect for you guys tonight, but you played well. Again, you showed a lot of second-half heart coming back in that one.
Yeah, we did, and I think in a lot of ways you can see that, the team continues to grow. We didn't put ourselves in the same holes as many times in this one, right? From wire to wire, it was a little bit closer. We didn't see the 20-point droughts to have to come back with. In fact, coming into the fourth quarter, it was a 1-point game. So in many ways, we feel really good about the growth and the team that we're becoming. We've said it all along. We feel like we belong on the floor with a good team like that, and I think it was evident tonight that even though we got a loss, we're right there. We're right there.
Yeah, and that last quarter, like you said, you're down by just 1 headed into the final frame, and a lot of times you just need to get hot, and unfortunately you guys got cold to start out that quarter.
Well, getting hot really comes from, the source of that comes from physical rebounding and intense defense. And if we go back and watch the film, I think we're going to find that American Heritage did a good job of controlling the boards a little more than we did in the fourth quarter, and I believe that was really the difference. We had as much outside shooting as we could have hoped to have had in this game. We missed some layups opportunities that we really would have benefited from converting. But to me, the glaring difference down the stretch was the physicality that American Heritage brought with the boards and our inability to respond to that and control that.
Well, you earned a spot in this championship game. I don't know when the last time was that happened or how often you guys come over to this tournament. I don't think that I've ever been able to cover it. So it was fun that you played in this game. What can you take from this weekend from how your boys played?
Hey, there's a lot of really positive things to take. We came up, this is a long road trip. It's a hard place to get 2 wins. We've been trying to figure out how to do that for years. And it's not easy, one of the things that I'm very happy with is our defense does continue to grow. Giving up 72 points to that American Heritage team, go look at how many teams have kept them at that number, especially of schools of our size. We feel really good about the growth. We're giving ourselves a chance to be here. Our shot percentage is coming up. Our free throws, by and large, are continuing to get better and give us a chance to be in ball games. And we feel really good about the first half of this year. Couple games we probably could have won, but we've grown a lot, and I think we're setting ourselves up for a great run through region.
Are you going to come home and you get the annual pre-Christmas rivalry matchup with Monticello on Tuesday night?
Yep. We are looking forward to seeing Monticello in our gym Tuesday night. Always a great gym. I know, having grown up in Monticello, that's a game that we look forward to a lot. And so, from our perspective, we got to come ready to play and ready to execute and just keep getting better.
Yeah, it's a rivalry game, so things go out the window for those games. You could have two teams going in opposite directions, but they show up when they play each other for sure.
Absolutely, and we have seen that come to fruition several times in the last few years. Even a couple years ago with a team that went to the 3A title game, it was a lot tighter than we would have wanted it to have been, and we expect them to come and to fight hard like they always do. So.
All right, Coach, have a safe trip home, and we'll talk to you again on Tuesday. Appreciate it.
You as well. Thank you.
All right, that's Coach Easton Nielsen for the San Juan Broncos, and just a little bit of a sign-off interview, as that'll do it for our broadcast. And actually, just now taking a look, I think it's a timeout at Dove Creek. So we will now go through with our procedure that we had initially planned on, and that's to send you out live in progress to Dove Creek, where the Bulldog Classic is underway, and I think they're finishing things up. But we'll send you out there live now as we close it out. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of the Monticello-Dove Creek game, and this will be our final broadcast of the evening for this weekend. Have a great night, fans, and enjoy the ball game.